Hi, my name's Holly and I'm a printmaker and mixed media artist from Hertfordshire in the UK. Today I'm going to show you how to use, how to create a stamp using every kind of items that you can get from crafty places. So I managed to get these online. They're like little cogs and things. I think you're meant to use them in jewellery. I'm going to show you how you can use these to turn into like a stamp that you can then use on your gel plate. What you'll need for this is a glue gun, a bit of card, some stiff card. Ideally, this stuff's quite stiff, and something to stick on that's got some sort of texture on it. So like these little cogs and wheels, and then I'll show you what to do. Okay, so all you're going to need for this project is some scissors, some really stiff card like this here, and a glue gun, and then these little cogs and wheels, which you can get online quite cheaply or in craft shops and stuff. Yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so now the stamp is finished. I'm going to have a go at using it. So what you need to do is use a couple of contrasting colours. So I'm going to use this turquoise blue and pale olive. And these paints are quite easy to get hold of in the UK. You can get them in the range or in Wilko. And you just want a little bit of paint. You don't want too much. I always say never use too much paint when you're gel printing. You just spread the paint evenly across the plate. If you think you've maybe got too much paint or it's not very even, just keep spreading it out across the plate and then maybe roll off some on a spare sheet of scrap paper to the side. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is use the stamp to take paint off the plate, like this. Oh, that's worked quite nicely. If you want to, you can actually get a spare sheet of paper to one side to kind of put the excess paint onto. I'm just going to put it at the side here and then you can just stamp it on. I mean, you could use this to stamp onto a design or something that you've already done as well. It's up to you. And you can do this as much as you want or as little as you want. It should just remove a bit of the paint. Okay, so now before the paint dries, I'm going to take a print with this. So I might just go like that. This is just copier paper that I'm using here. Just smooth the paper down. This is an A5 gel plate that I'm using as well today. Let's get rid of a bit more of the paint. Oh, one of them's come off. I might have to do some running repairs there. See, one's come unstuck. So there you go, that's the first print with that on there. It's quite interesting, quite like that. Almost looks like gears or something that you'd have on a bike or in a clock. So you could use it as some really interesting collage paper. I'm just going to have a go at sticking this one back down here because it's come unstuck. And then what I'm going to do is print some more on that page with more with the green. Just again, not too much paint. Just spread out your paint across the plate evenly. That out of the way for a minute, and then you want to use your stamp to remove paint around the plate. Like that. Now I'm just going to put this down on the other end of the piece of paper. And just smooth it down and pull the paper back. There you go, you've got one whole sheet. You could cut that up and use it for collage or for scrapbooking, all sorts of different things. But what I'm going to do is try and layer over the top of it in another colour. So I'm just going to try and see if I can clean some of these stamps off a bit onto this clean off paper. I mean, this is quite interesting in itself, what's coming out here, to be honest. Okay, so now I'm going to use this darker colour, the turquoise blue. Just put a bit of paint on the plate. Again, not too much. And just spread it out evenly. Like that. And again, I'm going to use my template to remove bits of the design here. And because it's actually got green already on some of these little cogs and that, it's actually printing some interesting patterns down back onto the plate with the green. I quite like that. Actually, I think I might do that on a separate sheet of paper. See what that comes out like. Smooth it down, try to make sure it pulls everything up when you pull it up. Again, really nice image there that you could use in collage. You could even print botanical shapes over the top of it as well. Okay, so we'll have another go with that. Just spread out your paint evenly across the plate. Again, you want to stamp your stamp down onto the plate and just cover different areas. And if you then get your scrap of paper, you could print down back on that with these colours too. Remember, you do need to work quite quickly with these paints because they're acrylic. I mean, certainly the ones that I'm using dry quite quickly, and it's quite warm in here today. So you just have to be mindful that you don't forget you've got to pull your print at some point. Okay, so this time I'm going to have a go at printing over the top of one of these, just to see what happens really. Pull it back, and you've got the green in the background as well, so it's quite like that. Just put that to one side. I actually quite like what it's left behind on the plate, so I might leave that to dry for a moment, maybe with a bit of help from my heat gun. I quite like what it's left behind on the plate. See if we can put a lighter colour on there to pick it up. Also, you could just print straight back down if with any paint that's left on your stamp. Some paint, something's coming off. This time I'm going to use this metallic brayer paint in this green. See if I can pull up what's here. You just want to cover it over, and you hopefully should get a really nice textured background, which will make a great piece of collage paper. Just going to press down firmly just to make sure that it pulls everything back off on the paper when I pull it up. Yeah, I really like that. It's really nice textured paper. You could use that in the background for all sorts of things. Okay, so I'm going to go back to filling one of the other pages up that I started. Just spread out my paint across the plate. and use the stamp we've made just to pull off excess paint. Like that. I'm just going to fill up the rest of this sheet. And you can put it back. I've got all of that. So as you can see from this one stamp that we've created, just using a few little cogs and bits and pieces and a glue gun and a bit of card, there's a whole load of different prints that we've managed to create today. So first of all, it's just using the stamp to pull paint off the plate. Then you've got the ghost print that's left behind and the grungy sort of bits and pieces left behind on the plate. You've got layers where you can layer different colours on top of one another. You've also got the plate that you can, the stamp that you can then use to then print down when it's wet onto other pieces of paper to create interesting backgrounds. And then also you can combine it with botanical gel printing as well. So there's a whole load of different ways that you can use just one stamp that I've created today. So I hope you get a chance to have a go at this yourself. It can be used in so many different ways. There's so many different things that you can make a stamp from, and I'm sure in the coming weeks I'll be showing you some other ideas and ways you could use this technique. But yeah, I hope you have a chance to have a go at this. Please like and subscribe to my channel. There's loads of other gel printing ideas and top tips. So yeah, please come along and watch and have a look at all the ideas that I've got. If you've got any comments or any questions, then I'd love to hear from you. Please comment. Until next time, thank you, bye.